Hello, my name is Andrew Liu, and today I have on Jaret, Jaret Zhang.
hmm Hello, guys.
Hello, welcome to the podcast. So
Hello.
today we will be reviewing the the parents involved in community schools versus Seattle School District Number One court case. So essentially, what happened here is that um uh in this case. Well, originally in this school district, the Seattle School District Number One, Seattle allowed students to rank their high school preferences and in oversubscribed schools. District had a racial tiebreaker to align individual school demographics with the entire district population. Um, and the way this tiebreaker worked was it classified students as white or non-white, and then based off of that, they would try to align the school demographics. Um, And yeah, so this is a highly controversial court case, especially because it's kind of because the whole reason the system was implemented in the first place is sort of to overcorrect for or not to overcorrect, but to correct for what is um basically uh inequities um before this in schools, racial inequities in schools. So, Jared, what are your thoughts on the case?
I believe that this correcting is something that is necessary, which is a viewpoint shared by one of the justices who was on the opposing side, one of the justices who ultimately deemed this unconstitutional. I think he was named Kennedy, Justice Kennedy.
Yep.
However, I also agree with his statement that in this particular case, the usage was far too broad and also rather unexplained, making it rather weak and therefore not achieving its own purpose.
Mm,
I think it's also interesting because most of the times when you imagine this being used, you would imagine it being used in a place where segregated schools were originally, because it is an active concern that there could be some inherent some subconscious, just inherent discrimination that would cause an imbalance, which is why this is necessary. I believe this correcting is necessary as people have ingrained beliefs, however uncontrollable they are. But
mm,
in the Seattle case, Seattle doesn't have a history of this. So the extent to which it is necessary is up for debate.
mm. Yeah, and ultimately, it was a 5-4 vote, which is very close. But yeah, uh, um, Justice Kennedy, I mean, Kennedy ultimately allowed for policy which considered race in school assignments, but only after other non-individualized measures were proven ineffective. So race must be part of a comprehensive review and can't be used as the sole like factor in the tiebreaker, which I believe is I think that's fair, but it does not support that. Um well, Seattle doesn't have a history of um implementing racial correcting, but or I guess demographic correcting. So yeah.
I agree. I concur. I concur with this idea.
Yeah.
I also believe that I believe Kennedy has the best opinion among them. He has a nice middling. belief, where the justices, the other justices who voted against it, including Chief Justice Robert, and his assertion that the way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race, grossly oversimplifies the entire problem, which is not surprising that this also sometimes serves as a talking point when arguing against such practices, because it ignores the fact that humans are fallible. In the end, this sort of discrimination will happen. And there is no good way to police people's thoughts. Neither do we, neither should anyone hope that there is, for we should all be able to think how we want.
Hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, there is discrimination in this world, and so there needs to be some sort of correction. However, uncontrolled correction, very there needs to be reason. With it's like that famous Spider-Man quote, guys, with great power comes great responsibility. This is a great power. It's a great power that allows you to try to correct some of the issues in the world that are created by discrimination. However, with that power, you need to be able to explain your actions. You can't have it be arbitrary. So I believe that having these extra, having it as like an
Extra
additional,
factors.
yeah, extra factors,
Yeah.
yeah, better. That says it much better. Is
Yeah.
very
Like,
helpful.
yeah, exactly. It's because like, right, if you like looking at the history of things, there obviously has to be some like I mean, you've already covered a lot of these points. There has to be a lot of some kind of correction. Um, but using it as its main factor is not the best. And so Kennedy, I also agree with you. Kennedy has the best opinion out of all of them. And I also really find, or I can't lie, the perspective that you shared, that saying that to stop discrimination, or to stop discriminating on the basis of race, we need to stop discriminating on the basis of race is a gross oversimplification of um like justice, I guess. I think that's an interesting take because nowadays a lot of people, or not a lot of people, sorry, but there's some people out there who really want to go back to the idea that simplified ideas and simplified solutions are the best solutions to go with, even though there are so many more nuances um like at play and like a lot more complexity in the current world. Like, yeah, yeah,
Well, I believe those who want simple measures are often those who, to be quite frank, benefit the most from it or are the least affected by it. Because it's like a very interesting idea that my history teacher once brought up that when you look at like the communist revolutions,
hmm
those who are pushing for communism, workers' rights, they were often among the more affluent because
hmm
they have the ability to think of these things. They have the time, they have the luxury. So the people who believe a simplified solution is best are honestly, I believe, are usually those who have the luxury to not care about that nuance,
yeah,
which ironically, since they have such
yeah.
luxury, it also should mean that they should be the ones to step forward, to take charge, and try to help those less advantaged to them.
But it's also because I mean they don't have to experience the things there. Like it takes people who are driven to try and rectify these kinds of issues, like to go out there and actually experience the issues for themselves versus like staying at home and just proposing theoretical simplified solution. It's like that one quote, like it's all right. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play, right? Like you can't just,
Oppenheimer.
or was it Oppenheimer? It was Immanuel Kant was the original, but I
Well,
don't.
it's
I
in
haven't watched.
Oppenheimer.
Yes, sir. No, I've never watched Oppenheimer, but that's kind of but yeah, it's exactly that quote is like if you don't have the experience, um, and if you don't go out there and get that experience, you can't like have a sense of those nuances, and so you end up with the oversimplified solutions and opinions.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
yeah. I don't know, which is also why I think volunteering is a really good like way to get out there and like not only make an impact but also to like get a feel for the nuances yourself, right? Like I don't know. I think uh it's just there's a lot of different inequities, I would say, around like nationwide. It's just racial inequity and like economic inequities. All of these like these are things that I think um to I don't know. This is getting kind of being really general here, but these are things that everybody should experience for themselves before they start making these opinions.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah,
Inequality is a given in this world.
yeah,
As unfortunate as it may be, it's not possible to make everyone equal. There are always going to be biological differences in your DNA to this, that, this.
yeah,
Luck always plays a factor.
yeah.
However, people
Especially
may
like
tell you otherwise.
yeah, like being born into a more like well-off family versus being born into poverty, and like
The
also
opportunities you get.
exactly, and who you're raised by as well. Like, which is also why the field of early childhood and family studies is one that should I think should it deserves more focus. It's a very important field.
I see.
Yeah. Um. hmm, hmm, I don't know. I think actually you used the word inequality earlier. I kind of want to gauge like what do you what do you think of like what do you think the difference is between inequity and inequality?
Inequity and inequality.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, it's the difference between the words equity and inequality. And not inequality, my bad.
Or yeah.
Equity and equality.
Yeah, I probably
Equity
should say.
is everybody gets what they need. Inequality is everyone gets the same. Wait,
Or
again, I used the wrong
equality.
words. Equity is
Equality.
everyone gets what they need, and equality is everyone gets the same thing. And there's that very famous image of the boxes.
Yeah.
If there's a tall child, a short child, and a medium height child, they all get the same box. The short child still can't see anything. The tall child just has a higher angle now. It doesn't help him at all. And the medium child doesn't care because
Yeah.
it's just right. And very obviously, it's clear that this is not fair. The tall child doesn't need it. It doesn't help him at all.
Yeah.
And the tall child in the equity photo is willing to give it up because he simply doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the difference between inequity. Inequity means that not everyone is getting what they need. And inequality means not everyone gets the same thing. I used inequality there because I was speaking about how
Yeah.
people
No,
cannot
that
be the same.
yeah, it's fundamentally impossible for people to
Mhm.
be equal. I mean, if everybody was like exactly equal, that'd be very dystopian, right? There's a lot of
Yes.
dystopia about that. But yeah, I I think yeah, equity is being able to give everybody the same opportunity to be successful and like to um like to lead their lives the way they want to. And um yeah, I don't know.
Equity is the entire idea, continuing on this train of thought. Equity is
Yeah.
the entire idea behind why we have these policies
Hmm.
that are discussed in this court case, in this Seattle court case.
Yeah.
Because if everyone was just getting the same thing, then they'd all have a very equal same chance. They'd have the same chance to get in, right?
Yeah.
And you would believe it's better to be equal in this case. However, it's because of those inherent those other factors, those uncontrollable factors that lead to inherent discrimination,
Yeah. I
that
mean,
is why equity is required because some people in certain situations simply are behind. Some people have a head start. So therefore, in order to balance it, to give everyone the same opportunity,
yeah.
we need equitable policies
Yeah.
rather than equal policies. Because if you gave Usain Bolt a 2 second head start, the same 2 second head start as everyone else, as an
That's
average
yeah.
person,
It's
it's
not very
not
fair.
helping the average person very much.
Well, it's not very equitable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you want if you want a race to be interesting, like in the famous, I think it was Kevin Hart versus Usain Bolt, you give Kevin Hart an 8 second head start and then you see who wins.
Yeah. That's this is a lot more interesting and a lot more fair.
Therefore, they then have an equal opportunity to win. And that is
Yeah.
what makes it interesting. It makes it more fair, though not by the strictest sense of the word. Because depending
Yeah.
on how you use the word fair, fair would mean that they both start at the same place, or fair would mean the person who's not
I
trained
mean,
for running get something to try and balance the scales. It's just all about how you balance the scales, really.
yeah. And like you don't want to balance the scales, but or actually, hold on. Well, okay. Well, in the Usain Bolt case, it's like you could also make Usain Bolt carry an extra 100 pounds to make him slower.
Yes, there are plenty of ways to balance the scales.
But I
There's,
would say doing that, like, if we're to bring this analogy into real life, I don't think we should be cutting anyone down, like, in order to, right? Like, okay, I
yes, this is a
yeah,
good
yeah,
philosophy. It's never good to
cut anyone down.
push people back, to pull them down. Interestingly enough, you can apply this to game design plenty.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
like the old adage, buffs are better than nerfs.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's better to bring someone up rather than to pull others down. This
Yeah.
this is a good idea because bringing someone down is now that is everyone can agree that is
That's
truly
not,
unfair most of the
yeah,
time.
that's very unfair. It's like not allowing someone to like basically um live like how they want to. You're literally
Yes, you're
nerfing.
restricting them.
Yeah, you're restricting them. It's not very epic, you know. It's not very cool. Um,
Now, restrictions are the law, and therefore they are necessary, but yes, in the general case, it is much better to help bring someone up rather than bring others down.
well, if the general case is that it's better to bring people up, then in what cases would it be acceptable to bring someone down, though? I mean, I'm not saying that I want to bring anyone down or anything, right? But like, I'm kind of curious now.
Good example would be taxes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is a fair point. Yeah, I think, yeah, especially taxes is a good way. I mean, it's not necessarily like, oh yeah, this is what I was trying thinking of earlier. It's like the I feel like the only time where cutting someone down would be acceptable is like if like
If they
they're
have too much,
I mean not just that but like it's like if the way or hold on actually I may have not thought this out through very well hold on
well,
um
I think that if you have too much, more
yeah
than you know what to do with, then do you really need it?
yeah I mean I guess so yeah
Excess is bad. This is also a commonly agreed upon
yeah
statement. To have too much is not a good thing either.
yeah
So in
many
those
societies
cases, it'd be good instead to reduce
yeah
because it is unnecessary to have that much. It is even hurtful to have that much.
hmm.
These are all very broad ideas that you can apply.
Yeah. So, I mean, if these are okay, I kind of want to dig into this then. I mean, some
Mhm.
people say that like, right, people like earned their way, like, or their wealth, I guess. But like now it's like, right, they have too much. Um, and like, I guess this is a way to force them to pay it back. But like, then there's people who don't want to pay it back. Is that like, do you think that's like I think I mean like I'm not saying that I feel like we should tax more for people who like have more, but like it's just like right. Um, if you're
On
looking
the
at this,
topic of
uh,
taxes are a very interesting topic. They're also rather controversial. The main thing with taxes is just basically, well, the main argument for taxes with rich people, why they dislike taxes, is because they believe they can use their money better than the government, which is
I mean, sometimes it's
not an
true.
invalid argument to make
Yeah, because
because
especially with how the
governments
government
are
is
made of
right now.
people. People
Yeah,
make mistakes. So to think that you can do better than another person is a very it's a very human idea because
yeah,
that's true. That's how innovation happens. Someone does do something better than another person.
yeah. Hmm.
But at the same time, the idea is even with all that money, there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah,
And to hoard something,
and like I'm pretty sure a lot of people, like a lot of billionaires, aren't like really using their money for or to pay back like anybody or like to pay it back, right? Or like to fund any like good causes or anything. They're just hoarding it. I mean,
and even
actually,
well,
yeah, yeah,
another good point is that it
yep,
just keeps growing, right?
yeah,
This is the idea. Like the gap between your average worker and rich CEOs, their wages, the rate at which their wages grow is so
mhm,
monumentally imbalanced that it feels hard to justify, which is where the main argument for higher taxation comes from.
yeah,
Every year you see how Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, their net worths just keep going up.
yeah,
Microsoft, Google, any big tech company, any big company in general,
hmm,
their net valuation only increases. However, what's the minimum wage still at? 725.
yeah.
And then like
It's,
bringing this back and trying to apply it, it's like to this idea of like how the schools are decided. The
yeah,
reason
like
that they
yeah,
were willing to apply such a policy is their idea is that there's
like
just this
because back
compounding advantage.
from the segregation like in history and like other discriminatory practices,
Yeah, there's a
like
compounding advantage. If you think about it, this is still used in colleges today.
yeah, yeah. I
Even
mean,
without, even completely devoid of the concept of race, this is used today. If you
mhm,
have a student from a less advantageous situation
yeah,
who has results just as good as a student who has plenty of tutoring and has plenty of opportunities,
yeah, then you would want to invest in
colleges
that
would tend
student,
to favor the less advantageous student because they
right? If you
showed
gave them more
that they
resources.
overcame, yeah, they are more resourceful. They overcame adversity. They
Yeah,
did more with less.
yeah, exactly. And it's like that's why
Which is
there's so
where
many
this,
scholarships and like programs that
exactly, that's how
reward
all
that.
these programs work. You
Yeah,
have to
and
prove
like
that you are you
you're
did
very
something.
resourceful.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I am in very high support of that because like I believe we need like the best of the best at the frontier of like anything, I guess. But like yeah, it's just you want to if we're thinking about like meritocracy, like sometimes people believe meritocracy is like your current result, but like you can also look at how like resourceful someone is. That itself should be rewarded.
hmm Which is
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I guess is also like tying back to the court cases, like why there was like the thing in the first place, because it's kind of like um based on because of historical practices. Um, I guess white people are like, or not I guess, but like white people have an unfair advantage in like the resources they have. So it would make sense to like generalize um the generalize that to this kind of system. But like again, it can't be the only factor because if you only looked at like this one factor, there's still like poor white families, and you're basically screwing them over. And it's like That's not good either. So you have to
Hmm.
look at it at look at a comprehensive review. And like
Exactly.
Kennedy's view is like therefore, you know, is the best one.
Yes. This is why a comprehensive view. Nothing is black and white in this world.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's a shade of gray.
Yeah, you can't
And
just
you just
look
have
at
to figure out
again. It's
which
like
shade of gray you like, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
Don't know where I would go with that
It's the
one.
idea of the simplification again. Like it's two ends of simplification, I guess, right? Like
Hmm.
one end is like you're simplifying it to a problem of race, but it's not strictly a problem of race. Like at this, there's other factors. Like race is a huge factor, right? But it's not the only factor, and which is why you need to look at a comprehensive review.
Hmm.
Versus, you can't just say, oh, we don't have to like look at race as a factor at all, because like if you want to stop discriminating, stop like discriminating. But like right, you can't just not look at it as a factor. It's a very real thing that happened, and it's something that we should correct for.
Yes, exactly.
So two ends of simplification, you don't want either of those. So you need a more nuanced review. You need like, I mean, this is also why I think AI can't. It's like it's going to be hard for AI to replace social policymakers. It's like you need a lot of like opinions and perspectives to look at um us issue.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I didn't know
Actually,
that people wanted to replace social policy with AI, but I'm
I
glad
mean,
I that sounds like a terrible idea. Please don't
yeah,
do that.
a lot of like, I mean, everybody or not everybody, sorry. I mean, like, the AI bros want to like replace everything with AI. I mean, it's only natural that they would also want to replace policymakers with AI. It's like I don't think that's a great idea.
That opens its own can of worms, like who controls the AI, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Everything's probably nah. There's always another rabbit hole.
yeah, that's true. But yeah,
Nothing's so simple.
yeah, and
To say
so
that AI is just smarter and therefore we should use it is a gross oversimplification.
yeah,
Once
I mean,
again.
like AI is just limited to what it sees on the internet and other data sets that it could be given from like I don't know what kind of data sets they, but like its experience is like still pretty limited, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
And that's why you need more than
Humans.
one person when you come
Yeah.
up with an idea. You want group experience.
You want
If everyone can
perspectives.
share their own ideas and therefore use those ideas together, it'll make for a cleaner, more beautiful solution.
Yeah, exactly. People from all walks of life and all that. I mean, think yeah, this conclusion is it's like the consensus.
Hmm. It's a
Yeah,
good conclusion.
it is a good yeah, it is a good conclusion. I agree. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
What other topics should we talk? I feel like the main one would be this court case. Is there anything that we might have missed about this court case? I'm gonna see. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
we've
and
covered many of the ideas
yeah,
well.
and also like another example of the gross oversimplification in the original system before this court case happened is the fact that the classification was binary. It was between white and not white. Like that's just I don't think that's
Yes,
um
that's also.
it's not very great. I don't know. It's just to add on to like what we were talking about earlier, I guess. It's like yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.